The teams got him by dodging a good team. Now we got a playoff system. Now we got 12 teams in the playoff system. And you look at the schedule of the Wisconsin Badgers. You never had a schedule like that. Regular seasons, best ever. Postseason, best ever. Therefore, the greatest college football season ever this year. Joining me now is Gary Ellerson, and I'm sure he agrees. We're in the process of getting him and getting the video and stuff. There could be no argument. It's like saying, which is more money, $1 or $1,000? That's basically what I said. There's never been a postseason as good as this one, given the number of teams that are involved. And there's never been a regular season as good as this, given the teams that are now in these conferences and who they're playing. Wisconsin's playing more good teams this year than they probably played in a combination of 10 years, 20 years ago. The greatest college football season ever. Best schedule of regular season games and the greatest postseason ever. In a few years, won't be able to necessarily say that because there'll be some in which the playoffs are better. 1-800-990-3776. Only if you're going to call in to agree. The Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. This is because of the better postseason, the better regular season challenge, and the expanded playoffs, the greatest college football season ever, and it doesn't even matter who wins it. You're going to have all these great games, and then you're going to have a playoff system where you have 12 teams. 12! How many great games is that? Would have to be 11. I think I'm right there. You got to have one less game. You got to have one team left. And I'll just keep saying it. The best, the greatest college football season ever. Given the quality of the regular season games. I mean, look at the games that Wisconsin alone has. And then you get 12 teams, and they'll be good teams, in a playoff system. Unlike when there were fewer teams, or even before that, when teams won a national championship by having a good regular season record and then finding the easiest team they can play in their bowl game and then winning. It's amazing when you think about it, that it could be this much better this fast. This is the Gary Ellerson Homer Hour. Do we have Gary Ellerson available so that he can say, Homer, you're right again?
I see him, Gary. You going to tell him that?
Homer, I think you have a complex with being right again, because I saw a tweet out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we don't want to get into politics, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Yes.
I saw a tweet that you had out earlier this week about the presidency, that it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because you're either way, we're going to be okay. We have a great country. No matter who's.
Right. We have a great country with great people. And in 4 years, in 2028, we'll be fine. Yeah. And this crap, crap that the world's going to end if one guy wins and the world's going to end if the other guy wins is a bunch of crap. Yeah. Because it's said all the time and it's never the case.
Right. And you end it with what?
Yes. In 2028, feel free to say Homer, and I would prefer Homer, you're right again.
You're right again.
Yes.
Do you have a complex with being wrong?
No. Well, yes, I always want to be right. Everybody should have that complex. Okay. You should have that complex. Okay. I just think I want people to know that I've been right before, and it's not like a blind squirrel find an acorn.
No one in our business will ever acknowledge that. They always want to find us being in the wrong, because that's the nature of our business.
I agree.
No one. But I was once told by a very smart man in this business. He said, "When you're right, you need to talk about it."
Yes, and when you're wrong, you need to admit it. I don't have any problem with that.
Wrong, he says, when you're wrong, they'll let you know you're wrong.
No, there's no question.
But when you're right, when you're right, you got to talk about it.
Because they won't. They
No,
won't.
they won't.
No, and
They
that's
won't.
fine. There's a famous columnist, Sidney Harris, and this was, I think I read the column in the 60s or something. Legendary.
Yeah.
And he said negativity always creates more emotion. Accept it.
Yeah.
It just is a fact. And so
Yes.
when you're comparing how people are, there's always going to be more energy when people are mad than when they're happy. And
Right.
I would agree with that.
Just the way it is.
Just the way it
Yeah,
is.
oh, yeah.
And that's been proven
Yeah.
70 years later by Twitter
Right.
because it has
Right.
given people the ability to be
Yeah.
to have to social media. And how have they used it? The majority of people have used it to be more negative rather than more positive. So,
Yes.
and yes, generally,
There
we don't spend much time on politics.
No.
and
I just thought I'd throw it out there because
You did. You
it
did.
struck a chord.
And
Yeah.
we talk mostly about the Packers, but I felt given the
Yeah.
start of the Wisconsin season, people need to know how lucky they are to be following college football at this time rather than the football we used to see in the 60s when you got as many weak teams as possible. When you played at Wisconsin, you'd open up with Northern Illinois and Western Michigan, three as many cupcakes to open the season. Then you'd have some Big Ten teams. Look at Wisconsin's
Who's
schedule
up?
this year.
Who's on the board in there? Who's in there?
It's
Who's on the
Ashton.
board?
Hey, Gary.
It's a boss.
Ashton.
A boss, yeah.
Hey, Ashley, 1981 through 1983. Can you pull up the non-con
Yeah.
games for the Wisconsin Badgers, please?
Now, they still
Now,
have two
I
this
think-
year.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
think we still played Northern Illinois. I think you're
Yeah.
right, but
Oh, yeah.
I think we played UCLA one year. I think we played Brigham
Yeah.
Young, which is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Now
one
and then
year. So
they'd
we-
sneak
and-
one
and-
good
and-
team in.
and that was back when, if you want to be comparison, we only had one conference, right? Everybody was together like they
Correct.
are now.
Yes.
You played UCLA in 1981. Do you remember what happened in that game?
Probably lost. Probably got crushed.
Yeah,
We
31-13.
lost to Irv Eatman, and I think was Darren Nelson was on that team.
I remember
might have been.
Barry decided to play some tough teams, and they got whacked so
We'll
bad he
get-
changed that.
We'll get to Barry.
Yeah.
We'll get to Barry. So that was 1981.
Yep, 82. You played UCLA again. Similar result. Would anyone like to guess the score?
47-8.
51-26, a
All
loss.
right.
You got 26 up, though, so that's solid. And then 1980,
Okay, and what was that?
in 1983, you had back-to-back non-conference games to start the season. You had Northern Illinois, a nice win, 37-9, and then you played Mizzou of the Big Eight at the time, 21-20.
Yeah. It's not bad. That's
21-20. Hey, you want to do
because
me
you
a
only
favor while
played
you're
9 or
there?
10 games, right? There were only 9. How many games did they play back then? I think 9.
While you're there, you want to do me a favor? Can you look up that Northern Illinois stat line for Gary Ellerson? If you,
Oh, I sure can. I hope it wasn't a bad game. I hope you're not setting us up for something bad.
I don't know. I mean, I can't remember because Homer often gets me in these. You know, I'm
What?
like 60, 61. I don't remember a lot of stuff.
You were good. I didn't
Northern
realize you
Illinois,
were
I
so.
think had.
Go ahead.
Northern Illinois, I think, had Bill Mallory as the head coach. Do you remember Bill Mallory?
Bill Mallory went on to coach at Indiana and was reasonably successful there. He was good. Yeah, Bill Mallory was okay. Mm-hmm.
Did he coach at Michigan or no?
No,
Bill Mallory,
no.
did he get over there?
He coached in Indiana for a long time, and then he was somewhere else, maybe as an
He did?
assistant. I think he may have been an assistant. There was a third place that he was at. Bill Mallory. Man, this is like Don
I thought
Hudson.
he was at Michigan.
Hold on,
I thought he
Miami
was
of
at
Ohio.
Michigan. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Ohio.
you're close though. Ohio State, an assistant. Then he was head coach at Miami
Ohio
of Ohio, as many did. Then Colorado, Northern Illinois, and Indiana. So he probably didn't do very
Indiana,
well.
Okay.
Colorado, he wasn't bad, but you don't go from Colorado to Northern Illinois by choice.
No.
And then
no,
he
not by
coached
choice.
for 4, 6, so like 12 years at Indiana with a record of 69 and 77.
You know
Yeah.
something? You know something, Homer? You're right about that Miami of Ohio. They had a lot of coaches come through there during the 80s and all that. What's the deal
Eric
with Miami,
Parsi- Well, no,
Ohio?
I think Paul Brown may have
That's
started there
crazy.
years ago. Then I believe I'm going to look. Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler, Eric
I think
Parsegian,
Bo Woody,
all were head.
Dave McClain. I think Dave McClain was at Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, they have an incredible tradition of great coaches during that stretch. I'm not sure. I got to see. Sid Gilman
Did he pull
also
out any
coached there.
stats there?
Holy crap. Sid Gilman
Did he
was.
pull any
It's hard to find a box score from 1983. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
I'm looking hard.
At Northern Illinois, you can't find it.
I don't think.
Oh,
the
look at
statisticians
this.
were at the game.
Look at this.
Oh.
Woody
Oh, he
Hayes, 49.50.
Yep.
Eric Parsegian, 51.55. Who, by the way, Eric Parsegian,
Right.
never an assistant coach at any point in his life.
Yeah.
John Pont, who actually got Indiana to a Rose Bowl, and then Bo Schembechler and Bill Mallory. Oh, man, what a run.
Yep.
And I think Sid Gilman, who also is legendary. I thought Paul Brown was there, but no, I just made that up. All right, but
Well, you know who else a lot of those guys, came from was Bowling Green, too.
yes.
A lot of those guys was at Bowling Green.
Mhm.
Bowling
So-
Green was another one.
But
That's
anyway,
where I went to school. I went
You
to
went
Bowling
to Bowling Green?
I went to Bowling Green for a year. Yeah,
No way.
sure we did.
and where else did you go?
No
That's it. Just
way.
Bowling Green 1 year, and now I'm here.
You only went to college for 1 year?
1 year, baby.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Isn't it sad?
No, it's not sad at all.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would have told me how insignificant schoolwork is compared to other issues in your life, but I was good at it. So,
God.
well, so what
It's
did
too
you?
bad.
You didn't flunk out. You just
No,
what?
I just switched. I wanted to work for a front office in sports. Bowling Green has a very good sports management program,
do.
and after doing it, I changed courses, found radio, and here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
You definitely don't need a college education for radio.
No, you don't. Look
No.
at me.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. No, it's the biggest.
Yeah.
No.
My mom said I did.
Well, I know. I mean, there are benefits to an education, but in terms of like you want to be in radio, you go to there was a Brown education. No, anybody who goes to Marquette and is in wants to be in radio or TV, I said it's easy. The day you walk on campus, you knock on every radio and TV station, and you tell them you'll work for free and do whatever they want. That you will learn nothing in college of any major significance other than just general intelligence and expanding the kind of people you meet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, where were we? Oh, so does everybody want put that Discount Liquor Twitter poll question? Homer
What's that?
says it isn't even close. This is the greatest college football season ever based on the quality of regular season games and an expanded playoff system in which the champion will earn it with a number of difficult wins. This is it. Can't wait. Suck it up. Look at all the games they're playing that are good already. I mean, Wisconsin does have Western Michigan, and they're horrible. If Wisconsin doesn't beat them by 30, it's an embarrassment. Because
Who was the second game? Was it Wisconsin?
Dakota. No, who does Wisconsin play the second game? I've forgotten. It's
Arkansas State, some weird like that.
But then look at their schedule. I mean, you would normally complain. Like, what the hell are they thinking? South Dakota. Yeah. I mean,
Badgers playing South
as a
Dakota?
fan, yeah, South Dakota. Alabama, USC, back to back. Come on. I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to be the coach, but I think they could beat USC. I think USC isn't playing any
I
defense.
think they can beat
Purdue,
USC too.
Rutgers, Northwestern, Penn State, Iowa, Oregon. You got Oregon after you play Alabama and USC. Oh, baby. And then
Well, they
we
got
gotta-
Purdue in there somewhere. Don't
yeah, they do. You got the other, but then you got a playoff. Now, the premise will be just to help people out. If somebody says Homer's crazy because you have so many teams, the regular season games aren't important. There are more regular season games that are important because when you have 12 teams in it, you're going to have 30 teams fighting for those final two spots. Every game at the end of the year is going to be important for so many teams. Now, your elite teams, they might have already guaranteed a spot in the top 12. But in terms of number of games of importance, imagine how long that list is going to be when we're thinking, who's going to be 10? Who's going to be 11? Who's going to be 12? Wisconsin could be in the running.
No, but doesn't it feel like, Homer, the program has fallen off a little bit?
Yes, yeah. But here's what it comes down to. I'm very confident. Very confident. I got no worries at all. But that's because I believe. No, I believe in Fickell. But if you don't believe in him,
okay, hold on.
Yeah,
fine. Do you believe in Phil Longo?
Not to the same degree. Fickell will get rid of him if it doesn't work this year.
Okay,
but you're right. That could be a problem. That could have been a mistake.
To me, that's the problem.
Could be. Yeah.
And Fickell. And I don't know how it's going to work out, but yeah, they're not going to fire Fickell. Fickell's going to let Longo
he's got. If it doesn't work out this year, the guy's done.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's a question of can Fickell get players in, because we're talking about professional football now, right? This is what it is. Who get the players in, and then you're right. You got to have good assistant coaches, and I wonder about him for exactly the same reason you do, because I don't know what they're going to do this year. Offensively, I think they're going to run the ball more. But everything you say about their concern about the offensive, I just think that if the offense struggles this year, he's gone, and Fickell will. I'm giving Fickell 5 years, but if I'm wrong on Fickell, then I'm way wrong. Because it's all about him. Now he brought in the Jack Del Rio is now an assistant coach.
Here's the thing. Most Badger fans feel like Fickell is a coach in waiting at where?
Ohio State? I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Fine. My answer, if he's good enough here that they want him at Ohio State, no problem. We'll get somebody else. But I'm not. That's a nice problem to have. Yeah. We ain't thinking that right now. Nobody's thinking right now he's going anywhere. Somebody's just hoping. Last year was a huge disappointment because not only were they not good.
He was the hottest coach in college football when he came.
Yeah. They want and now last year they were bad. And if I ask you something positive about last year, you'll go, I don't know, nothing.
Nothing. I mean, they blew the bowl game.
Right, but I mean, I can't think of a coach or players. That's why there's nothing. There's no juice now whatsoever. You know what the juice is? No juice. You can drink at Camp Randall now. They're selling beers at Camp Randall. It's the biggest juice there is.
That's the juice.
And I think there's juice there, and I think. I can't tell. The people know fewer Wisconsin players than they do Brewers, and they don't know any Brewers. Yes. Like, who's the best Wisconsin player? Hell if I know.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I do know.
Yeah, do you? Go ahead. Tell us.
Yeah, Hunter Wohler.
All right. Okay.
And that's on the defensive side of football.
Yeah. But nobody's saying, I don't know about the offense, but the defense is going to be good. Nobody has any fundamental confidence on any part of the team.
No, you're right.
But that could change pretty quick. And I think it's going to change because I don't know their names, but I think he's got good players on this team. But we'll see.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yes, we are.
You're going to need more than good players to beat Ohio State and Oregon. And
they might not beat any of them.
Alabama.
Yeah.
How many games you got to win it?
Well, it said 6.5 is the over-under, and I wanted to bet that big time, but I wasn't able to. But you said like 8. I agree with you totally. Yeah, I'd be happy with 8.
Why didn't you bet it?
They said you couldn't bet it. Well, I had to go to the place that I promote, American Place Casino, because I've been saying it's a half hour from Franklin. And somebody said it's not. Yeah. So I said, all right, drive. It's actually 38 minutes from Franklin. So it is more than a half hour. But I thought,
people.
No, I want to be fair.
See, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
It is. I can't say it's a half hour. It's like 10 more minutes. A little more than a half hour.
Okay,
but anyway, that's what they said there. And this seems odd because they said the day of the first game, we don't have that anymore. And I thought they haven't played yet. They haven't played a game. But no, I think I like 8.
Okay.
But something has to occur, and I look forward to you explaining it. Something has to occur even tonight that excites you about the Badgers. Something.
You know what I hate though? Here's what I hate. I hate they play on Friday nights.
What?
I hate they play on Friday night.
Really?
Interferes with my high school football.
We'll discuss that next. Fat Jack's coming up at 5:30 as well. And again, I've said this before. You need Fat Jack more than any before because they're trying to convince you to bet a ton of games. And it's tough to bet. And if you bet a ton of games, you will lose. It's going to be 5:30. We got to talk about high school football next when we come back for a couple minutes. Because you're nice. It's nice that you think that, but most people don't care unless you got kids playing in high school football. I love Friday night football. The Badgers. Come on. You a coach, you believe in high school football. So for you it sucks. But there aren't enough like you. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I mean, why would I care about high school football? I don't got anybody in high school.
What school district you live in?
Tosa. Wauwatosa.
Eastern.
Tosa East sucks. But even if they were good, I don't. You know, when you have kids, maybe a couple years after the kids are gone, our kids are almost 40. There aren't enough people that care about high school football. Some do, but not enough. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
We're still seeing some delays along southbound 43 from about Hampton to Capitol, then back on the brakes from North Avenue down through the Marquette. Northbound's backing up from the Marquette up towards North Avenue as well. Westbound 94, a little bit backed up from about 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. You're back on the brakes then from Highway 16 to Elmhurst Road. And westbound 894 going to be slow out of the Mitchell to just past 27th Street where there's an accident off on the right shoulder. Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragaway, a quarter-mile-long drag strip plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on the track. Find full event schedules and ticket information at GreatLakesDragaway.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, less humid, a low of 60. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 83. Weather is brought to you by the Racine Raiders. Catch the Gridiron Bowl 2024 on Saturday, August 31st at 7 p.m. at Horlick Field in Racine. Get your tickets now at gridironbowl2024.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use AccuTrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. AccuTrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
September baseball is coming, and every Brewers game means even more this time of year. Get to American Family Field as the crew takes on the Rockies September 6th through the 8th. Get your seats now at Brewers.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that will join the team starting in September. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, This is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount Liquor.
Grab your Lederhosen and Dirndls for Oktoberfest at the Golden Mast on Sunday, September 15th. Enjoy a fun-filled day with German food, beer, and live music on Okauchee Lake. It starts at 1:30 on Sunday, September 15th. Get your tickets at goldenmastin.com.
This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Fat Jack is coming up soon to help you. This gambling is tough. But Gary Ellison is going to give us 60 to 90 seconds on why it's important that you tape some of the Badger games or college games so you can support high school football on Friday nights. Take it away.
Well, because you're right. Not everybody's like me. I coach high school football in the area for such a long time, right? I started off at Brookfield East, defensive coordinator over there. I went over to Catholic Memorial with Bill Young, coached my son over there for a long, long time. Then went over to Muskego with Ken Krause. Coached that program there for a long, long time. So I'm kind of invested in that. My stepson plays over at Whitnall. Stepdaughter's a cheerleader over at Whitnall. So I'm kind of immersed in the high school sport. Listen, I still go watch Catholic Memorial play. I still go watch Muskego play when I have an opportunity. It's just Friday Night Lights. There's nothing like it.
So everybody should support it. The Badgers don't play that many games on Friday night. When they do, tape it on that one game and go watch high school football.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly would do that, but I like to watch everything live.
All right.
I mean, I don't, because I hear the score and it's just not as exciting.
I mean, I will go see a great high school player. You tell me a great high school player, I'm going to go see that player.
Well, not even that, a great high school team. And I just, like a big matchup, right?
Yeah.
So last week it was Nina and Muskego. Great matchup. Great matchup tonight will be Muskego and Oak Creek. That will be like a big matchup.
All right. You sold it?
Now, I don't know about Tulsa East and Tulsa West.
Tulsa East stinks. They're horrible. Horrible. They're worse than horrible. I apologize to horrible. Fat Jack is next, and then Gary Ellison will come back. We'll get to the Packers. We pretty much covered the Badgers' greatest, I'm going to say this to Fat Jack, greatest college football season ever this season. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We're still seeing some delays along southbound 43 from about Hampton to Capitol, then back on the brakes from North Avenue down through the Marquette. Northbound's backing up from the Marquette up towards North Avenue as well. Westbound 94, a little bit backed up from about 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. You're back on the brakes then from Highway 16 to Elmhurst Road. And westbound 894 going to be slow out of the Mitchell to just past 27th Street where there's an accident off on the right shoulder. Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragaway, a quarter-mile-long drag strip plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on the track. Find full event schedules and ticket information at GreatLakesDragaway.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, less humid, a low of 60. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 83. Weather is brought to you by the Racine Raiders. Catch the Gridiron Bowl 2024 on Saturday, August 31st at 7 p.m. at Horlick Field in Racine. Get your tickets now at gridironbowl2024.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Courtney Cronin.
Look at the deals right now for the top receivers. Brandon Ayuk falls in that $30 million range. Justin Jefferson is ahead of him. CeeDee Lamb's ahead of him at $34 million, and Jefferson set the bar at $35. A.J. Brown, which was signed the day of the draft, $32 million. Amon-Ra St. Brown, just over $30. Then there's Tyreek Hill and Brandon Ayuk.
Mm-hmm.
I saw what Adam Schefter put out on Twitter, and I know there was like a little war of words between the agent and, trying to say that this was not the deal that was on the table the entire time. But what Schefter reported was that this deal has been on the table since August 12th.
Wow.
What day was this deal signed? It was signed on August 29th. Why did we have to go through this obnoxious song and dance for weeks? And this could have been done and expedited to then allow them to go focus on getting Trent Williams.
Lowe's knows saving pros time and money means getting the job done easier. Right now, save 10% on Georgia Pacific vinyl siding panels. Plus, save an additional 20% when you buy in bulk. And get free same-day delivery to the job site when you order by 2 p.m. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Offer valid through 9/4. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank NA member FDIC.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Every Friday we talk with Fat Jack because gambling's tough and you need him more than ever before. And we'll see if he agrees with me. This is the greatest college football season ever, the greatest collection of regular season games, and the greatest playoffs ever because you're going to have all these teams and they're going to have to earn the national championship harder than any team ever before. Greatest season ever. Fat Jack, do you agree with me?
Yeah, I mean, how can it not be? We went from a sport that just basically had writers and coaches voting on a national champion during our younger days. They didn't play anything at the end to two teams, and now we've got where it should be. It should have been the entire time. Now that greed is at least not taking a backseat, but gotten another lane for sure. We're going to have an actual champion, and with all of the transfer portals and the NIL money and everything going on in college football, I think another way of putting it besides greatest is just most unpredictable and most entertaining and fascinating to watch, most interesting. So college football did themselves a favor by expanding the playoffs, but they certainly got some help with all of the moving parts with conference realignment and everything else. So, yeah, if you're out there gambling on your own, I talked to two different line setters this last couple weeks ago when I was in Vegas taping the TV show that I do, Beat the Odds around the country, and they both said, yeah, we're guessing also. I mean, they just don't know what's going to happen in week one. There's too much turnover, too many teams, all that type of stuff. So the challenge is getting out in front of the curve before the sports books and then dialing in on 3 or 4 games this weekend to build momentum. We were 11-2 over the course of the preseason, which is just a great, great record. All those games are posted and documented. I had a small winning night last night. So off to a good start building some profit. But if you're going to go play 10 games this weekend, you're not any good at this. You're definitely going to be broke by the time we get to Halloween. You've got to build profit and learn from what you find out this weekend going forward.
Go to FatJackSports.com. I know you've got some games you want to hit. I have always believed in college football, you look at coaches. And the coaches win, and you can take that coach every game, every year, and I think you'll be ahead if you can pick the right guys. Lance Leipold, people know of him because he came from UW-Whitewater, then he goes to Buffalo and Kansas. I'll bet his record is insanely good against the spread. But I don't know. Do you believe in coaches as a way to watch above everything else, or am I wrong there?
Well, some coaches, you're for sure. I mean, right now it's so much about the variables of talent and who's coming in and how quickly you can get them to gel. But you're right. I mean, over the course of the season, you're going to have some coaches that just generally speaking are good at their job and others aren't. And it has little to do with how much they get paid. Jimbo Fisher's making a mint to sit at home and basically, hadn't done much in the last 4 or 5 years before he left Texas A&M. So you have coaches that definitely can handle this. I look at consistency. So I want things like Dabo Swinney, who doesn't go into the portal. He builds a culture. We know what we're getting with him. We're getting a guy that played 2 national championships in 3 years, wins over 9 games every single year except 2 since he's been at Clemson. Obviously, I don't love them this weekend. If you bet against Georgia, generally speaking, as a 21-point underdog or less, you're going to lose. I mean, Georgia as a 21-point underdog or less, since 2017, they are 40-16 against the spread.
They're the new Alabama, right? I mean, they're
absolutely until further notice. And this year they've got Carson Beck back at quarterback. So I mean, they'd have fewer variables. They get their pick of the talent. They're absolutely the Alabama of old. Now, doesn't mean they're not going to win. And you led the segment with that. I mean, it's tougher now. You can't just show up and beat one team after winning an SEC championship. You're going to have to beat multiple teams. So, I definitely think there's a little more of a question mark with who's going to win. But until further notice, Georgia is the class of college football. So I have trouble fading them if it's under 3 touchdowns, because they generally speaking outperform the market.
All right, let's get to Wisconsin, 24-point favorite. I mean, to everybody in the state of Wisconsin, they're a bigger if than they've probably been in the last 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were an if last year too, though. Right. But this is a good spot. So, I mean, they should be able to beat Western Michigan for sure. I think there's a lot more points. Wisconsin, 112-44 against the spread as a big favorite in their first game. So a lot of that obviously has nothing to do with anything. They were wing tee and drop kicking and all that kind of stuff. But it does kind of talk about the climate of what programs like to do. Some of them, it's important to get off to a good start. It's important to get momentum going in these before you get into the conference schedule. And with the Big Ten and their added teams that they took from the West Coast, it's important as ever to not just win this weekend, but win convincingly and get momentum and get confidence of your players and all those types of things. So I do think they probably win big. I think there's some points on the other end, too, at the end. I would go over the total in that game. You make me play it. I go ahead and lay the 23. That's not a great number, traditionally speaking, in opening weekend matchups. Anytime you get 21-27, underdog more times than favorites, and you're going to get more underdogs covering this weekend. We had all underdogs in week 0. You're going to get more underdogs than favorites in this week. Not all, but I think this is one of the favorites. I go ahead and lay the points away Wisconsin, and then I definitely go over the 55.
Have you ever given 48.5 points, Ohio State, that big a favorite at home against Akron?
Yeah, those are the type of games, though. When you get to the numbers that are head scratchers, you almost want to play the favorite there, because how high would they have to make it before you would flip over play? I mean, it's
65,
like the totals. I mean,
60. No, 60.
Right? I mean, you see these totals that are in like they're 82 and 83. What are they going to do? Put it 95 and get hammered on the under, and then lightning strikes?
They'll only go so high. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So there's a threshold, and frankly, Big Ten fans will tell you with Iowa, there's thresholds the other way, especially with totals. I mean, they'll get the total down around 31 when it probably should be 24. I mean, because they're going to stop everybody, and they couldn't score against you and I. And so, yeah, that type of number, anytime it gets up over 45, and we saw some of those roll-up situations last night. Big favorites. Arkansas comes to mind. They won 73-0 or something. With Ohio State, another team that they are shoved all their chips in. This is a team that needs to get it done now. I mean, they are it's national championship or bust, especially with what Michigan did last year. So I expect them to make a statement anytime they can, and probably starts this weekend.
Any game or two you want to mention? Again, go to FatJackSports.com. It's all there. You need him because there are more ways to screw up now than ever before, as everybody's trying to entice you to do too much and play too many games or too many props. I am curious.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Good. Yeah, I gave everybody North Dakota State last night against Colorado. Similar situation in Stillwater, Oklahoma. 9.5, 10-point favorite with OSU. South Dakota State just shows up with a bunch of dogs, bunch of 6-foot, not 6'3", runs a 4.8, doesn't run a 4.6 type guys. They're just football players that hit you in the mouth. Mike Gundy is one of the few coaches, unlike Deion Sanders, who doesn't care about covering spreads. So if that game's close late, he will not do anything stupid. So I like the points there. Also, 2 road favorites going on the road in week 1 against unranked teams. That is not a good spot, generally speaking, since 05. Top 25 teams that go on the road against non-ranked teams only cover 42% of the time. Miami of Florida falls into that. I'd be careful of them. I like Florida in that one. And West Virginia getting points against Penn State, another one of those. We have a ranked team going on the road against the unranked team. Just a couple to get people going if they don't want to just necessarily start into profit. Get signed up at FatJackSports.com right now.
Notre Dame and Texas A&M. Tell me something.
Yeah, the good news for this is that the rest of the country, one of these 2 teams is going to be 0-1 after this weekend. There's a lot of fan bases that don't like Notre Dame's fans, and they don't like Texas A&M's fans. One of those 2 is going down, and that is not going to be good for that program. I think low scoring in this one. Look for not many points. A&M 4-2 to the under the last 6 home games. It'll be try to be a mistake-free situation. A&M also very good against the spread as a favorite in their home opener. So look for them to play. I think it's a conservative game, lower scoring. I like A&M in the end, but I think there's a better position on the total, go under the 45 or so.
And lastly, how good is the new coach at Alabama, and how soon will anybody be able to know for sure?
TBD, yeah. I mean, let's wait till they get in the conference schedule. They could throw. They're one of those that could throw their helmet down for a couple of weeks and be just fine. But in the SEC, as you know, it becomes about how good are you. The good news for them is they'll get that conference will at least get 2 teams in the playoffs. So even if they can't beat Georgia, they probably are fighting a chance in the team, the 12 teams. And that is a team, especially with the coaching turnover, that should get better as the year goes along. New terminology, new fronts, everything that they're doing different right now will pay off later in the year if they can get through the first part of their schedule, if not unscathed with maybe one blemish. So different world now. You don't have to win them all. You just got to win most of them, especially if you're sitting in the SEC.
Go to FatJackSports.com. Thanks, Jack. We'll talk again next week.
All right, brother. Have a great week. See you soon. Get signed up before you get in the hole. We got NFL on the horizon. So see you soon.
FatJackSports.com. Back to Gary Ellerson next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light.
I think I'm going to have to bring Romeo Doubs into the Tausch stand category and start promoting and pushing him more.
Wilde and Tausch.
I feel like he is just so
criminally.
Like, he's an afterthought for too many Packer fans, and I think he's going to have a bust-out year.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices to get the results you deserve. One call, that's all.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
IndyCar returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park this Labor Day weekend, August 30th through September 1st. The Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend features NTT IndyCar Series races on both Saturday and Sunday. Don't miss the fun in the free fan zone all weekend long, including live entertainment at the Bank 59 Amphitheater with headliners including Ian Munsick and Quiet Riot. Get your tickets now at wistatefair.com and experience Hy-Vee Milwaukee Mile 250s weekend, August 30th through September 1st.
The Gridiron Developmental Football League National Championship is coming. On Saturday, August 31st, the Racine Raiders take on the Upstate Predators from New York. Don't miss out on your chance to enjoy real football for an affordable family rate. Buy your tickets now at GridironBowl2024.com. It's Gridiron Bowl 15. Kickoff from historic Horlick Field in Racine happens at 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 31st. That's GridironBowl2024.com for ticket and event info.
We know that the people of Wisconsin are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Higher Love Cannabis Company. I'll tell you how far away it is. 7 stores located across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, just over the border in Menominee. That would be 19 seconds over the border. Exactly 19 seconds. Higher Love Cannabis Company. The only UP cultivator offering organic, clean, green certified products, which means you can count on them to provide only the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. 7 locations. Again, they're Menominee. They have a brick and mortar store. Most people seem to use the drive-through. And Higher Love Cannabis Company, listen closely, less than an hour from Green Bay. You want to know exactly? 56 minutes from Green Bay. And Higher Love Cannabis Company, 2 hours and 18 minutes from downtown Milwaukee. One more time, Higher Love Cannabis Company, less than an hour from Green Bay, and Higher Love Cannabis Company, 2 hours and 18 minutes from downtown Milwaukee. Higher Love Cannabis Company. Back with Gary Ellerson, who, by listening to all the other shows, I heard that you were last night with the Packers Hall of Fame induction for Clay Matthews and also Aaron Campman. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, Clay Matthews is one of those guys who's not in the NFL Hall of Fame, but he was that caliber of player for some of his career.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I don't know what's his sack total is. Is he in the top 10? He may be in the top 10.
Yeah.
And if he's in the top 10, that means at some point he's going to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it could be. I guess I just think not, but he was that quality of player, and I don't, there's.
Yeah.
I don't. I'll just ask Cliff Crystal. He works for the Packers, so it might be harder for him to say it. But he doesn't play any favorites for anybody.
I saw Cliff last night. He told me to tell you hello. Yeah.
No, he didn't. Okay, no, he didn't. I hope he did.
I saw Dennis Crosby.
Yeah, no, he might have said to say hi. Cliff Crystal's the greatest Packer reporter ever. Now, I'm not old. Yeah. Bud Lee was pretty good, but man,
Bud Lee was damn good.
Yes, Bud Lee was close personal friends with Vince Lombardi. They were very tight.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, all right, so you're there.
I like that Rob Demovsky guy, too. Rob Demovsky, that guy's pretty good.
He's very good, too, yes. But there's no Cliff Crystal. There's only one.
No, there's only one.
I'd walk in and then the first thing I would do was find out where Cliff Crystal was and just stare at him to see what he's doing. Almost every time when a coach was talking, he was on the payphone talking to somebody else.
Bob McGinn doesn't get enough credit either.
Bob McGinn was very good. He'd be right up there near Cliff Crystal. But somebody's got to be number one. All right, so you're there. You see players. I don't know. I heard you talking about saying nice things about Chewy. Come on. You're ducked in the Packer Hall of Fame. Come on. I mean, Chewy's a nice player and everything, but was James Lofton there?
No. I don't think Chewy was there. I didn't see Chewy.
No. I mean,
But Mark Tauscher was there.
Mark
was
Tauscher,
there.
definitely Packer Hall of Famer, but I mean, they're just
Chewy's in the Packer Hall of Fame.
yes, he is, but
Yeah,
you know, yes, they're Packer Hall of Famers, and then they're like you said about Bo Jackson. For those who weren't listening last week, what your mom said about Bo Jackson, say it again. I may have you repeat this every week that you're on. Your mom knew her football, and she said, "What about you?"
Oh yeah. She says, "You know what? When God made you, He had a little sprinkle. He sprinkled a little rain on you. But when He made Bo Jackson, it was a hurricane."
Yes. And anybody who played with Bo Jackson, even an NFL player, had to feel fortunate and love to just to watch him. I can imagine playing with Barry Sanders. You said, I mean, on every team, that James Lofton was that way.
Yeah.
You're watching greatness, even among other NFL players, right?
Well, he used to hang out with Bo Jackson in the summertime because he played at Auburn. Auburn's not too far from Albany, Georgia. My one of my homeboys, what we call him, played at a high school across the river from me. Little Train James went to Auburn and played with Bo, and Bo used to come to Albany in the summertime to work out with everybody.
I mean, was he amongst?
You ever heard Little Train James?
Yes, but anybody, even among you, did he still look like not human? I mean, not just what your mom said. I mean, the premise is like Bo Jackson was just huge or incredibly fast, or they tell about all the incredible baseball things he did. Like he hit home runs into a different city. He hit the ball 100
I'm going to
feet
tell you this. For me, at first glance,
yeah,
not human, Herschel Walker.
Oh, yeah.
At first glance.
Yes.
Not human. You say not human, first glance, Herschel Walker.
Even more than Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Oh,
wow.
Yes. First glance. Now, Bo's a better player. Now, obviously, right? Bo's a better player.
That's a great question.
I'm just saying, if you walk in a room, it's Herschel all day.
So he was a grown man at 18.
No, Herschel Walker came out his mama's womb drinking whole milk.
He's a grown man at 6. Wow.
Out his mama's womb.
Yes.
Herschel Walker came out his mama's womb drinking whole milk, and he was already done teething.
I saw him in the Drake Relays as part of the Georgia 4x100. And they had Calvin Smith, who was the fastest man in the world. He wasn't the fastest man in the world. The fastest man in the world was Herschel Walker if you took away the start. In the 4x100, because, you get the run before you pass the baton. He was the fastest man there, and he was twice the size of every other sprinter. He filled up the whole lane.
When you go, we used to do this when I was in high school, and we should go to away games. And my high school coaches always let the big kids get out first. Herschel Walker will be getting off the bus first.
I'm not
for the Green Bay Packers.
Yes.
For the Green Bay Packers, you know who that dude is for the Green Bay Packers?
No.
Lucas Van Ness. We're gonna let him go.
Oh yeah. First. Well, I'm telling you this. Yeah. In high school, I'm not tackling Herschel Walker.
No.
I'm not tackling Bo Jackson. How do I fake like I'm tackling, but I'm not really tackling? I'm going to get hurt. Yeah. That's not fair.
You best believe not fair. Not fair at all.
Wow. All right, to the Packers. We can talk about all this stuff because they don't play for another week.
Well, the Hall of Fame induction last night was absolutely incredible. You talked about Aaron Campman, Clay Matthews goes in. It was just a beautiful ceremony. Congratulations to both of those guys. We had a lot of fun.
And it's special to be part of the Green Bay Packer family, right? It just is.
It is. And you got to, home team, you got to go. Don't you want to go with me one of these days?
Sure, I'll go with you. I've been there a few times before, but I'll go with you. You mean to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was somebody special getting in, I probably would, but I've done it. And
Yeah.
let's
figure it out next year.
All right. You're going every year.
I don't know who's going to go. Yeah, I go every year. I don't know who's going to go in, but I go every year.
Brian Bulaga is going to get in probably. I would think he'll get in next year.
Listen, so it's got to be Bulaga, AJ Hawk, both of those guys.
Yes.
At some point in.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. People get mad at me because AJ Hawk benefited, but to play as many years as he did, he clearly gave something to the team. But he benefited from playing a position in Green Bay that if I played that position, I'd get a lot of tackles. Doesn't matter who you are, you get a ton of tackles.
You need to stop doing that.
What?
I used to work with another guy that used to do that kind of crap.
Not doing any crap.
That's crap. What you're saying right
there.
Don't be doing
hold
that.
on. No, AJ Hawk was not that good. He was not that good.
You can't. AJ Hawk does.
What?
You can't bust a grape. No.
I know. All right. Okay. I'll take that back. Anybody who has played that position has got a ton of tackles. Clearly, he was good.
No.
Oh yeah, who was it? Martinez.
Joe High Schooler couldn't do that.
That's correct. You're right. But any player that plays that position for the Packers always gets a ton of tackles. Not just AJ Hawk. Now, to be in that position for as many years as he was, that's why he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. What?
Depends on the system, right?
Well, their system has been one where correct. Their system has been where the person paying that, and I don't know who was it, the guy that left the Packers and then ended up going to the Giants, and he had a ton of tackles. But yes, AJ Hawk should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I don't have the Packer Hall of Fame. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah, right. Packer Hall of Fame.
And Brian
Bulaga, I think both of them.
Brian Bulaga.
What's that music?
That music means we're done. I got to talk too. Thanks, Hall of Famer.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later.
You bet. And I'll be with you in the Hall of Fame next year. There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are, but she wants a diamond. You know it, I know it, and Robert Heck Diamonds knows it too. Huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95. Robert Heck Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. They get it. They'll explain it to you. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Why overspend? They'll say, so I love about Robert Heck Diamonds, go wherever you want. Just make sure you come here because we know when you come here what'll happen. You'll buy it. Some jewelers charging $5,000 for lab-grown diamond. They don't get it. Robert Heck does. And you get cash for your own gold as I did. They offer repair services before you do anything. Robert Heck Diamonds. Visit roberthackdiamonds.com for information. roberthackdiamonds.com. Visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield. How many places say you can go everywhere? We don't care. Just make sure you come here because they know what'll happen when you go to Robert Heck Diamonds. Thanks to Gary Ellerson. The greatest college football season ever. Enjoy it. You'll agree with me eventually. Next.
Some backups right around the Mitchell interchange. Part of the problem, an accident that's off on the right shoulder just west of 27th Street on the westbound side of 894. And then other than that, we've got just a little bit of a backup along westbound 94 right through the stadium interchange. And then again from Highway 16 out past Elmhurst Road. Eastbound's just going to be a little bit tight coming out of the stadium interchange. Other than that, everything else seems to be rolling along fine. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, decreasing clouds, less humid, a low of 60. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm, a high of 83. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Ever dreamed of teeing off inside American Family Field? Now's your chance with Upper Deck Golf. From November 7th through the 9th, experience a one-of-a-kind round of golf, hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium to custom greens below. Enjoy VIP treatment with great music, cold beers, food, and golf challenges at the Clubhouse Festival inside the stadium. Upper Deck is open to all ages, but tee times are limited, so book now. Head to upperdeckgolfing.com to book a tee time today.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Get to the house. It's blocked unbelievably. Wisconsin with a chance to pounce. Touchdown Badgers. Unbelievable. Simply shocking. Stockton. Touchdown.
Taylor slips through an opening, and Taylor into the secondary. Jonathan Taylor. Can he take it the distance? He can. Touchdown Badgers.
Live from the best college football town in the world, this is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Counting down to kickoff of Wisconsin and Western Michigan on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Brewed by Coors Light. The fans rolling into the tailgate here in downtown Madison on the corner of Charter and Regent, ready to kick off the 2024 college football season. If you're like Alex G., part of our panel, just joining us, or if you're like everyone on ESPN Milwaukee just joining us, we've been at this for 2 hours already. That's how much fun we're having kicking off the football season here on a Friday night in downtown Madison.